Hello and welcome everyone. This is Professor Siddharth Surana. I hope you guys are doing good. मैं तो हमेशा मस्त ही रहता हूँ. I hope you have enjoyed watching the revision cum amendment lectures, the MCQ lectures, and now we are here with the RTP lecture. RTP of May 22 is already out. There are about 15 MCQs and there are about 9 or 10 subjective questions. Subjective questions ka solutions are already there. So quickly I will discuss only with you, but as far as MCQs are concerned, we have decided that under all circumstances those 30 marks we want to get, and you already know, especially if you have seen the previous attempt or given the previous attempt, you know what is the quality and the level of MCQs that they are asking. We have finished 9 episodes. You know the kind of MCQs we have covered in terms of quality and quantity, both highest number in terms of quantity and quality means every case study based question also is covered in the MCQ lecture. I had also told that May 21, which happened in July, till that RTPs are also covered in our book 1800 MCQs. But November 21 RTP came late. December 21, when I say November 21, of course you know that. And May 22 RTP is not covered. So whatever is not covered in those lectures will get covered in this lecture. I will speak majorly English so that everyone understands, but thoda bahut idhar udhar agar Hindi ka zarurat pada to this lecture can contain a little bit of Hindi also, but majorly we will be talking in English, sorry. Okay, now that's your RTP which has been released by ICAI for May 2022. Exams. Before I start discussing this RTP, a lot of students, I am talking about the in-house students, those who had enrolled for all the batches which happened on Zoom only, those who have taken video lectures, they are waiting for their case law lecture. Every time we keep the case law lecture somewhere in the last week of March, because along with the case laws, Institute releases something called judicial updates. So basically these case laws were already announced before your study material was prepared, and these are recently announced new case laws which were not there in your study material. New latest case laws, Institute releases them by way of judicial updates. They have not yet released it. And then Institute also releases something called statutory updates, which are new circulars. Statutory updates. नीचे लिख दो. Technology is playing with me. I know how to play better. Statutory updates, new circulars, and a new notification. Judicial updates and statutory updates. These two are not yet released. If I have to do only this, no, I could have done it when I took the batch. There were 2 batches which we took, full course ka batches, one in Hindi, one in English. I could have done at that point of time. The reason why we keep that lecture late is because we want to cover this part, and we also cover ICDS in that. So I'm still waiting for that. If it does not come by the last week of March, then I will not further wait for it. Then I will keep the lecture, and then whenever it will come, I will upload it on Zoom on that date when I am recording this lecture. Till now it is not yet out, so I am still waiting for it. So this lecture will be conducted on Zoom with all the students who joined us, who enrolled for those full course lectures, and of course those who have taken our recorded classes, Google Drive classes from Coppergate at ICAI, they will be given this lecture in addition to the whatever they have already subscribed to. So this will be provided only to in-house students. This video is not going to be recorded and uploaded on YouTube. This is not for YouTube upload. Of course you all are CA final students, you understand that everything cannot be uploaded on YouTube. So once that is ready, I cannot keep the RTP for very long. The RTP is out some days ago. I have to quickly record and upload it so that solutions to MCQs, other people can watch the lecture and then they can also record their own lecture. So for that I have to record the RTP. I cannot keep the RTP pending for a very long period. So this lecture, whenever it will happen on Zoom, it will be communicated to all our in-house students who had enrolled on Zoom, and once the recording is done, it will be given to the students who have enrolled for recorded classes. Please do not message the admin again and again. When will we get the case law lecture? When will we get the case law lecture? Once the judicial update and statutory updates are out, I will give it to you. I will keep that lecture and I will record it and give it to you. And if it is not out by the end of March, then I will anyways keep the lecture, finish the case laws, and this part then later I will upload on YouTube whenever it is released. Okay. But today we are here to discuss the RTP. So RTP is something that we are keeping for public use on YouTube openly, but these lectures will not be put. All the students who are watching this RTP lecture, first of all, please make sure that you all have already seen all the revision cum amendment lectures which are already uploaded. Revision cum amendment lectures are uploaded. MCQ lectures are uploaded. Watch all the lectures, then only you will understand what is happening. We are here to learn direct tax laws. We are doing CA course and we are at the final level now. Direct tax is a core subject of chartered accountancy. The moment we come across the word tax, the first person who comes in our mind, tax, CA, tax, CA, tax, CA. First person, core subject of our professional career. CAs are known to do work in the field of audit or tax. These are the two core subjects. Of course, for doing audit, you need to have knowledge of accountancy. For taxation also, you need to know accounts first. If the accounts are proper, then your computations will be correct. This is the core subject of chartered accountancy. Sir, we have cleared CA inter. We have done articleship. We are giving final exam in 2 months. Is this the time to teach us that taxation is our main subject in our career? Yes. Because one thing institute is now making very, very clear. With all the case studies that they are introducing for MCQs in the RTP, you see this RTP, you see the last RTP, you see the RTP before that. And the kind of case studies, MCQ case studies they are asking in exam. One thing is for sure. Any kind of selective study, any kind of that culture of crash course which is ruining education in our country, I really want to have 2 minutes silence for what kind of reply. There are people who message me on WhatsApp. Okay. First of all, WhatsApp facility is only if the student has taken any admission in any of my classroom or Zoom batches or has purchased lectures from Coppergate Educare, which is my home organization, because I have the database of the students. I know that this is a student who was in one of my Zoom batches or one of my physical classroom batches, or maybe in my video lectures. I only have database of those students. There are a lot of independent websites and portals who have purchased the rights of my lectures. Well, we want to show these lectures to our students and they have made me a lump sum payment for that. I don't get database of those students. I cannot reply to those students. I will not reply to those students because it was only about telecasting the lectures and there was no doubt solving facility included in the package that was given. Doubt solving on WhatsApp is for students who enroll in physical batches or Zoom batches or recorded lectures from Coppergate Educare, nowhere else. What kind of messages students send? Sir, I am watching the revision lectures and the MCQ lectures. Will I get exemption, sir? What to reply? Sir, I am buying your handwritten book. Sir, will I get exemption? Because the book is called exemption. Exemption is that word which defines the results of my students. But tell me one thing. I am today openly talking to everyone. Open discussion. Use your brain and understand. If only revision lectures of 10-15 hours, MCQ lectures of similar duration were enough, is the faculty a fool that I am conducting 200 hours of full course lectures? 200 hours? What is the sense of full course? If only revision was enough, then you don't clear and you cannot blame the faculty for that. Let the faculty be very clear if you don't understand. Let me be very, very clear. The only way to study is full course. Sir, then why you are giving revision? Revision is for those students who have already attended full course. Sir, why are you selling crash course? If the student is coming and telling me, sir, I want to buy your crash course, I have the option of saying, I don't have any crash course. Okay, sir, but I don't have time, so I will buy from someone else. That is more dangerous. I can't allow you to do that. At least those students who have got trust on me. Those who are just coming and randomly watching the lecture, I can't do anything with you. But those who blindly trust me, I have to do justice. I cannot let them go anywhere else. I cannot do that to their career. So I record. But go check the recording of Crash Course. In Crash Course, recorded lectures also I say that this is not the right way to study. The correct way to study is full course, everything in detail. Sir, is your handwritten book enough to... Arey boss, I am writing 4 books for CA final. Textbook, question answer book, MCQ book and handwritten book for revision. Why will I write the other 3 books? What kind of questions you ask and what do you expect from me as an answer? What do you expect from me? I don't reply to those people. I have my own dignity. But please, you all are CA final students. You all need, I know I am consuming a little time, but it is important for you to understand taxation is a core subject of CA course. You may or may not have knowledge of other things, but you need to have idea about this. Because this is what you are made to do. This is the course that you have selected. And you are at the final level. Any kind of rough knowledge, brief knowledge, superficial knowledge is not going to help your cause. Institute has proven this by the kind of questions they have kept here. Any kind of rough study is not going to help. So all those students, let me be clear, revision lectures are there for your benefit. But after you have studied the full course, that revision lecture will make sense for you. MCQ lectures, we target 1800 MCQs, but that only those students will understand who have studied the full course, and these case study based MCQs also in the RTP of ICAI. Only if you have studied the full course, in depth, everything you are aware. One line also if you don't know, you may probably not understand what is happening. Everything or nothing. Institute is being clear, at least as far as direct tax is concerned. Those who have given the previous attempts, December 21, maybe July 21, you all are already aware of the kind of MCQs they ask. Of course, our students practice so much and have studied everything in detail, they managed to get those exemptions. But still, you all understood the quality of questions that they are asking. Do you still want to do self-study? Now in the month of March, there was a student who I think he sent me a message on WhatsApp, or it was probably a comment on one of the YouTube videos. Sir, I have only 2 months left. Now how can I study full course? Who told you to come to me in March? If you come to me in March, what can I do? What were you doing in December? What were you doing in January? What were you doing before that? Sir, in 2 months I cannot do them. What? Then give November exam. Sir, I have only... You are not going to clear by doing stupid things. I have got only few options for those students. If they trouble me a lot, I block them. And if they put nasty comments on my channel, I am not going to tolerate that. I am going to remove those, not just comment, but I am going to prohibit you from watching any of my lectures on. All the free stuff that you are getting, everything will go away. One thing is for sure, that in-depth knowledge is only something that is going to help you. The very first case scenario is on that new thing, section 9B and 45.4 that has been introduced in partnership chapter. It is there in the revision cum amendment lecture. Also 9B and 45.4. Okay, let's see what do we have. Mr. Prem is a partner in 2 firms, X and Company Mumbai, Y and Company Delhi. 2 firms he is partner. X and Company has got 4 partners including Prem who share profits and losses equally. Okay, so Prem is there and 3 more partners in X and Company. Mr. Prem resigned from X and Company on 1/4/21. That means, can I say Mr. Prem is leaving the firm? And on the said date, the capital balance of each of the partners, 4 partners together, Prem and 3 more. So each of them have got capital balance of 32 lakhs. In order to settle the dues of Mr. Prem, now that Mr. Prem has to go, he has 32 lakh capital balance, so we will have to give him something. The firm revalues its land for the first time since purchase. The valuer also valued self-generated goodwill at 70 lakh rupees. Of course, we are aware of this much, that the revalued figure of land and goodwill is not going to be taken for the purpose of your capital balance. We are not going to change the capital balance. But of course, in the books of the firm, these assets will be recorded. If you remember the last part of 45.4, original book value, new book value, the capital gain has to be apportioned in the ratio of that increase from the original book value to the new book value. What is the ratio of increase? In that we have to apportion. Okay. The firm has the following capital assets whose details are as follows. Land at Pune, which was purchased in, this is 12/13 I think, cost was 15 lakh and now we have revalued. So it is fair market value of 50 lakhs. Land at Nagpur, this is 15/16, purchased for 25.4 lakhs and today it is revalued to 45 lakhs. Land at Mumbai, 13/14 mein purchased at a price of 88 lakhs and today we revalue it to 250 lakhs. Self-generated goodwill, we have revalued it today. No? For capital balance, we will not take it. But goodwill is now an asset which was not there earlier in our accounts. So original book value was 0 and now that we have valued it, we will take 70 lakh rupees. So this is the increase in book value of the assets and this was 0 of course because it is self-generated. Remember, cost of acquisition of self-generated assets will always of course be 0. This is the proportion of increase in book value. Okay. In April 21, X and company gave the land at Nagpur, this land, and 15 lakh money to Prem to settle his capital balance. Oh, this is what has happened in X and company. He is partner at two places, X and Y. All the details given over here are with respect to X and company. One of the partners is leaving, Mr. Prem. Remaining partners continue in the firm. That means, can I say this is a case of change in constitution, reconstitution? And at the time of reconstitution, we are giving what to our partner? Land and money, land and money, land and money. That means, listen, if it was a case of dissolution, then only one of the sections, 9B and 45.4 will be applicable. But it is a case of reconstitution. In reconstitution also, if we were giving only stock in trade, then again only 9B will be applicable. But if it is a case of reconstitution and we are giving capital asset, that means 9B and 45.4 both will apply. First we will calculate 9B. Now if you don't understand what I am saying, then bye. Stop watching the lecture right now. Because this is, why did I spend so much time in making you all understand that taxation is core subject? Even now it is time, take it seriously. You still have 2 months. If you have done crash course or selective study, I still recommend that do the full course. Because nothing can be more helpful than the full course. Of course, in full course I go in a lot of detail. So our software provides that facility. My software at Coppergate Educare provides that facility that you can watch the lecture in 1.2x speed, 1.5x speed. You can, I think it is up to 1.8. I'm not sure about the technical part, but I think it is up to 1.8x. Probably that is how you can save time. But you have to study everything in detail. Okay. So if you don't understand anything, you switch off your device right now. You go to sleep and target November 22. That will be better for you. Because only those students who have attended the full course and still remember this, that if it is transfer of capital asset and it's a case of reconstitution, then 9B and 45.4 both will apply. First we will calculate 9B. On that there will be tax. Then we will calculate the profit in books of accounts. From that we will subtract the tax liability and the remaining gain we will credit in the profit sharing ratio to the partners. That will give us the fresh capital balance. Now we will invoke 45.4. What are the things we are giving to the partner? What is the capital balance? That's the total gain, and that gain will be apportioned in the remaining assets in the proportion of increase in book value. So the land at Nagpur is going away. What are the remaining assets? Land at Pune, land at Mumbai, and self-generated goodwill. So 15 has become 50 lakhs, 25.4 has become 45 lakhs, and 0 has become 70 lakhs. In that proportion, we will divide the gain between the 3 assets, because this gain has to be subtracted from the future gain of those assets. Full course students will understand, or those who have watched the revision cum amendment lecture maybe. Other people? RIP, bye bye. Okay, chalo, calculation part we will understand, but one thing we are sure, that on X and company we will be applying 9B and 45(4) both. Okay, because it's a case of reconstitution. He is leaving, the other partners are continuing. Reconstitution and capital asset is being transferred. There is no stock in trade given. Now let's talk about Y and company. Y and company dissolved. Y and company dissolved. If it is a case of dissolution, then only 9B will be applicable. In case of dissolution, only 9B. Because only in case of reconstitution, 45(4) will apply. If it is a case of dissolution, only 9B will be applicable. That means, in conclusion, can I say 9B will apply to X and Y both firms. 45(4) will apply only to X and company because it's a case of reconstitution, not apply to Y and company because 45(4) applies only in cases of reconstitution. The new 45(4) applies only in cases of reconstitution, not applicable in case of dissolution. That is 1st March 22. And see, if only 9B is applicable, no, it becomes very easy. Fair market value of the asset minus the original cost of acquisition, that is the gain. Here also, fair market value of that Nagpur wala land. What is that fair market value? 45 lakhs. Minus whatever was the original cost. That will give you the capital gain of 9B. 9B is very easy. 45(4) actually is also easy. Problem comes when 45(4) combines with 9B, because first we have to calculate 9B gain. On that we have to calculate tax, then calculate the profit as per books, adjust the tax liability in books, balance profit credit to partners capital account. That new capital balance of the partners capital account will be taken as cost of acquisition, and the distribution that is made to him will be taken as sale consideration under 45(4), and the gain that we compute here is now going to be apportioned to the remaining assets in the proportion of their increase in book value. That was the whole procedure that we have covered in full course. Y and company has dissolved and distributed its land in Chandigarh. So I think here also they have given 3 lands. Chandigarh, which is given to Prem. Acha, because it is dissolved, no, so everything has to be given. Okay. Chandigarh, Mohali and Gurgaon on the same date to its 3 partners, Prem, Akshay and Arav. So in X and company there were 4 partners, Prem and 3 more. Here there are 3 partners, Prem, Akshay and Arav, who were sharing here also equally, and the details are here. So Chandigarh ka land is given to Prem, Mohali ka land is given to Akshay, and Gurgaon ka land is given to Arav. They are giving you the fair market value and they are giving you the original cost of acquisition. All of them appear to be clearly long-term capital asset. So this is the selling price as per 9B, FMV of the asset. This cost price subject to indexation will give us the capital gain of 9B here. Same thing we have to do here also. This is the selling price. This has to be indexed. We will get the cost price and we will get the 9B capital gain here. But in X and company, we will have to calculate 45(4) also. In Y and company, we have to only calculate 9B. In addition, Prem and Akshay were also given money of 8 lakhs and 11 lakhs respectively on 1st March 22. Okay, but let us be clear. It's a case of dissolution. So 45(4) is not applicable. If 45(4) is not applicable, then money is irrelevant. Only 9B is applicable. In 9B, we have to only take fair market value of the asset distributed, which will be capital gain because it is capital asset. And if it was stock in trade, then it would have been profits and gains of business or profession. So money is irrelevant. And cost inflation index of all the years 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15, 16, 21, 22, 317. So you know also is given to you on the basis of the facts given above. Choose the most appropriate answer. I give you one more suggestion. Those who are still watching and have hopes with themselves, just watch the revision and amendment lectures once more. Just do that much at least. Okay. Leave this lecture, go watch that lecture, then watch this lecture again. And if you were to take my suggestion genuinely, no, full course or nothing. 4 books I write because I want you to learn from all the 4 books. First time study from the textbook, solve all the 400 questions from subjective, all the 1800 MCQs from objective book, and finally for your revision purpose you can use the handwritten book. Sir, I have studied only the handwritten book. I did not get exemption. Good thing is that all the lectures were online. If it was a physical classroom and anybody would have asked me that question, no, at that very place I would have opened the ground and buried that student. Final CA students cannot talk like that, should not talk like that. And if you CA final student is talking like that, then I think it is better that I go and teach mathematics to 10th standard students. Because they ask stupid questions, that is why I don't teach those students. Otherwise, that is more remunerative. That is more remunerative. But why I don't teach those students? Because they are immature. And it becomes difficult. I am not comfortable with immature people. ये फाइनल का स्टूडेंट विल आस्क सेम क्वेश्चन, तो क्या करेगा प्रोफेसर? फिर क्या करूं मैं? मर जाऊं, मेरी कोई फीलिंग्स नहीं है? तुम्हारी फीलिंग्स तुम्हारी. तोड़ा कुत्ता टॉमी, साड़ा कुत्ता कुत्ता. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, what would be the amount taxable under 9B for X and company and Y and company? First of all, let's be clear. Is there a transfer of capital asset by X and company, Y and company both? That means 9B will be applicable. Stock hota, then also 9B is applicable, but capital gains will come, 9B is applicable. X and company का reconstitution है, इसलिए 45(4) will also apply. If it was dissolution, then only 9B would have applied. So X के लिए we will calculate 45(4) also. But first calculation anyways 9B का ही होने वाला, because 9B will give us the gain amount. On that we will calculate the tax. With that tax amount we will change the capital balance in the books, and that will help us to finally find out the 45(4) का capital gains. But 9B is तो very easy. कितना easy? देखो, X and company is giving the Nagpur वाला land to its partners. Prem, one of the land. So this is the selling price. Fair market value is taken as selling price, and this is long term. तो इसको index करेंगे. 45 is the selling price. This is which year? 15-16 का 15-16 का cost inflation index 254. अच्छा 25.4 ही दिया हुआ. So 25.4 divided by 254 multiply by 317, that will give us our ICOA. 45 is the selling price. वो मिल गया 9B का capital gain for X and company. Y and company के लिए it won't be easy, because it's a case of dissolution and all the lands are being transferred. तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? Selling price, then index this. This is 11-12, तो 11-12 का cost inflation index लेंगे 184. Then selling price, index this 15-16, तो I think 254 ही है अभी जो किया वो. Then selling price, index this. This is which year? This is 10-11. हाँ, कोई इसमें भी गड़बड़ करता है. This is 10-11. So you have 167. So this will be the selling price. We will index all three of them up to 21-22. So we will get our ICOA, and the total will give you your capital gain as per 9B. And good thing is for Y and company only this much is there. 45(4) is not there. In fact, all the other questions which are based on 45(4) are relevant only for X and company. Y and company के लिए कोई question ही नहीं है इसके आगे. Y and company के लिए there is only one question out of the 5 questions that they have given. Okay, चलो. So like I did in the MCQ lectures, actually I have already solved all these questions for you so that we save time. I don't want it to be a very long lecture. Already I was very upset with the kind of messages students are sending me, and I had to give you that message. I have consumed time, so I cannot consume a lot of time now. So understand, first for X and company, selling price is 45 lakhs, which is going to be the fair market value, and cost of acquisition will be 25.4 divided by 254 into 317, 3170, 13,30,000. And this gain is also important because 45(4) के लिए we are going to use this, no? इसके ऊपर we will calculate tax. क्या, चलो बाद में करते हैं. We'll talk about that in the second question. 13,30,000, 1330 दिया है कोई ऑप्शन में? One thing is for sure, ये दोनों तो कैंसिल हो गया. 1330 is given. Correct or no? And now let's see what do we have for Y and company. 3 lands. तो पहले लैंड का 62 lakhs, second is 59 and 70. So these are the 3 sale considerations: 62, 59 and 70. The cost of acquisition 18.4, 15.24 and 16.7. 18.4, 15.24, 16.7. Index किया सबको. This will give you ICOA. This will give you individual gains. This will be your total gain, 1,08,58,000, which is I think given to you in the first option. So the answer to the first option is going to be your option A. समझा क्या मित्रों? 9B का कैलकुलेशन इज एनीवेज वेरी इजी. We'll have to now go and learn the second question. Solve the second question. What would be the taxable capital gains of 45.4 for X and company? First of all, we have already discussed reconstitution and therefore there will be 45.4 also. Y and company के लिए 45.4 होगा ही नहीं because it's a case of dissolution. Dissolution के केस में only 9B is applicable. But X के लिए तो होगा. How will we calculate? What is 45.4 का idea? The balance in the partner's capital account is the cost of acquisition. And what are we giving him in return? Is the selling price. That will give us our capital gain. But the balance in partner's capital account. What is the balance in partner's capital account? 32. This is before 9B. After we do 9B, what will happen in 9B? We will get 13 lakh 30 ka capital gain. On this capital gain, there will be some tax. After subtracting that tax, whatever is the remaining gain, we have to credit it to the partner's capital account. So they are 4 partners equal in X and company. That will give us the fresh balance of capital account. That is how we will be able to calculate. Let's see, what do we have? What is the original balance in capital account given? You can keep the RTP open so that you understand what is happening. 32 lakh. Now let's talk about the credits. The profit in books of accounts on the sale of land. First we have to find out the profit in books of accounts. See, profit in tax may be 13 lakh 30,000. Tax का profit है 1330. लेकिन books में क्या profit है? This land का value was 25.4. Now we are increasing the value to 45. So what is the profit in books of accounts? 1960. This we have to credit in the partner's capital account. Lekin we have some tax liability also, no? Long term capital gain as per tax. So book ka profit is 1960. But the tax that we will pay will be on 1330. Now they have checked you in this much detail. कि 1330 के ऊपर 20% का tax because it is long term capital gains. 9B वाला capital gains. 4% सेस करोगे तो ये आपका total tax liability होगा. In the lecture where we explained this, we did directly the example from CBDT circular, and in that circular they said that for explanation purposes we are ignoring cess, but when we solve the sum we have to take cess also. So 1330 is the capital gain as per tax. उस पे 20% टैक्स है लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन का, 4% है, ये टैक्स हो गया. मतलब दिस वाज द ओरिजिनल पार्टनर्स कैपिटल अकाउंट. दिस इज द क्रेडिट बिकॉज इंक्रीज इन बुक वैल्यू, बट एट द सेम टाइम दिस विल बी डेबिटेड. सो व्हाट इज द नेट अमाउंट? द नेट टोटल प्रॉफिट 1683,360 इज द टोटल फॉर द फुल फर्म, एंड देन वी आर डूइंग ओनली फॉर प्रेम. दिस इज कैपिटल ऑफ प्रेम. So we have to do it 1/4 because in X and company there are 4 partners. In Y there were 3, Prem, Akshay, Arav, but here there are 4. So 42840 will be credited to the account of Prem, and this will be the final capital balance. This is the cost of acquisition. What is the final capital balance? 362840. And now what are we giving him? What is 45.4? Money plus fair market value of land. We are giving him land at Nagpur, which is fair market value of 45 lakh and 15 lakh in money. So money 15 lakh, fair market value of land total 60. What is the cost of acquisition? The capital account balance, that is the fresh balance computed after taking the value of increase in land at Nagpur and the tax liability that will arise. The tax liability will not arise on this 1960. 1960 is the increase as per books. Tax will be on the capital gain as per tax provision. And 362840 is the fresh capital balance. This 2379,160 is the total capital gain. The 2379,160 is the total capital gain, and if you observe carefully, they have given also that in the option. Option में दिया है. At this stage, first of all, so till here also most students have not reached on. This has made it very clear. Do you want me to repeat? Core subject of your course at final advanced level, in-depth knowledge will be required. Otherwise, khatam, tata, finish, bye bye, gaya, goodbye. Most people will not reach till here, but those who reach till here, 2379, look at how cleverly they give you the options. Is given in the option, and ideally your brain will end up selecting that as your option. Here comes that finer rule. If you remember step number 3, 3 steps. First step 9B, we did that already in the first question, so I didn't perform it again in second question. Then second step is 45.4. For 45.4, first we find out the fresh capital balance to make it cost of acquisition, and this is the gain. And now apportion this capital gain to your remaining assets. Now then, come here. Land at Nagpur is gone. So what is the remaining asset? Land at Pune, land at Mumbai, and goodwill. See, in the capital balance calculation when we take here, we don't take any revaluation of asset or any self-generated goodwill. We are not allowed to take that. But in apportioning the capital gain, the total capital gain of 2379,160 will be apportioned to the remaining 3 assets. Pune ka land, Mumbai ka land, and goodwill. And in what proportion? What is the increase from book value to fair market value? 15 has become 50. So that is increase of 35. 88 has become 150. That is increase of 162, I think. And this is increase of 70. This is the total increase. And we have to apportion the 2379 in this. As per section 48, apportion in the remaining assets in the proportion of increase in book value. This was the last part of explanation of 45.4. Step number 3, section 48. Step 1 is 9B. Step 2 is 45.4. Till 45.4 we have done. Last step, go and check. Apportion in the remaining assets. So, let's see. Book value was 1588 and 0 before 45.4. Now, new book value. So, the total increase is 35, 162 and 70. And we have to apportion in that ratio. 35 by 267, 162 by 267 and 70 by 267. The increase ke ratio mein we have to apportion. We have to apportion our capital gain. This capital gain has to be apportioned. This capital gain has to be apportioned in the ratio of increase of book value of the remaining assets. So, iska book value increased, iska and iska increase ke ratio mein we have to apportion. So, total increase is 267, 35, 162 and 70 respectively. Now, these two lands are long term. So, this total 311,875 plus 1443,535, this total will become long term capital gain, and goodwill is short term because it is self generated asset. So, we will be taking it 623,750. 623,750 will become short term capital gain. And what is the another importance of these 3 amounts? In future, whenever these assets will get sold, whenever we will sell these assets, what we will do? In the gain calculation of this asset, we will subtract this amount. 311,875, 1443, 623. That is how we will save double taxation. Now, one more time and one last time I will tell you, if you have not attended the full course lecture, in the revision lecture what I did was, that clip, because this is a new provision and very important provision, that clip actually I had taken from the full course lecture only, in the revision lecture also. Full course ka lecture only. Go and check that full lecture from top to bottom in peaceful speed. You will come to know what I am talking about. That this gain has to be apportioned in the, this gain has to be apportioned in the remaining assets in the ratio of increase in book value. And whatever is the gain that we are apportioning, this amount, we will subtract in future. Whenever we calculate the capital gain on Pune ka land, in that gain we will subtract 311,875. Mumbai ka land ka gain mein we will subtract 1443,535. And goodwill ki capital gain mein, goodwill ka capital gain kya hoega? Please understand. Self generated asset hai na. Selling price will be actual, cost price is 0. Self generated asset now. Go and check capital gain chapter. Cost of acquisition of self generated asset 0. But we will subtract this amount. That is how we will find out. So what is the final capital gain? Here 2379,160 में से land को pertain करेगा 1755. That's total of 311 and 1443, and goodwill का 623,750. Accordingly, the correct option is going to be this. Only those students will get this. First of all, जिसको capital balance rectify करके करना नहीं आता है, वो तो कभी जिंदगी में भी you will not be able to answer. But whoever has seen that lecture till the end, including the treatment given in 48, that the gain of 45.4 has to be apportioned to the remaining assets in what ratio? In the increase in book value ka ratio. In the ratio in which their book value increased. And that apportioned amount will be subtracted from them in future. समझा क्या? Only that person will understand. And this question number 2 is the toughest question possible here. Question 3 will be very easy. What would be the capital gain under 45(4) for Y and company? Did we discuss it long ago? And do you still remember this? This is reconstitution. Y and company का dissolution है. Only 9B. Only 9B. And what are they asking? 45(4) 0. This is a clever thing done by ICAI. So whenever they are asking a very difficult question, case study based question especially, they will make sure that one of them or two of them are very easy. Or if one is very big and complicated, 4 and 5 ka answer you will get from the 2 ka question only. If you have done this correctly, no, 4 and 5 ka answer is already available for you. They make sure that they average out your time. If the total time allocated to this case study is supposedly 20 minutes to half an hour, which is also too much, but you have to do it, no option. Maximum time will go in this once you get this correctly, no, 4 and 5 का answer you will get from here. 3 में तो you don't have to do anything only. 45(4) is not applicable. बस इतना आपको मालूम होना चाहिए. Okay. What would be the amount apportioned to land at Pune, land at Mumbai of X and company to be reduced from full value of consideration for computing capital gain whenever sold at future date? We have already apportioned 311,875 and 1443, 535. Have we already apportioned that? Correct or no? आ गया ना? And if self-generated goodwill is sold for 80 lakhs, then what would be the capital gain? ये देखो करके रखा है. This is 0. This is already apportioned. Self-generated goodwill is sold for 80 lakhs. Cost of acquisition 0. And whatever gain we have apportioned, that will subtract. So 73, 76, 250. 73, 76, 250 is going to be your answer. So once you did 2 properly, उसके अंदर आपका 4 and 5 का answer तो आ ही गया. Correct or no? Okay. But that is how they have created the case study based MCQ. Up to I know that most students are thinking, sir, can we request ICAI to remove MCQs and ask subjective? Supposingly this question was asked in subjective, it will come for at least 10 to 14 marks. In subjective also 10 marks to minimum, and we do all these calculations. If we make some mistake here, यार समझ लो कि tax calculation you don't take properly, one thing is wrong here, but at least for the other things 1 mark, half mark तो you will get, no? Here क्या है? If your option selected in MCQ and OMR base is not correct, then nothing you will get. Even if everything is right, one amount is wrong, then you are gone. Subjective better था इससे अच्छा था. और जाओ धरना देने के लिए, Dear ICAI, please change. The main idea behind the dharna was, sir, we are writing answers, but we are not getting marks for that. Institute said, okay, no problem. We are introducing MCQs. उससे क्या होगा? That computer will check the paper. So for correct answer, you will not be marked wrong. But they did not specify कि इसमें तो कभी correct answer आएगा ही नहीं. You are always going to be wrong. They didn't specify that. Oh, good Lord. Chalo. That was our first case study. Let's go to case scenario 2, which will cover question number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sunil, Shriram, Shyam. एक तो ये alliteration use करता है everywhere, no? They in the past RTPs also they had asked questions. Akash, Arvind, Arjun, Anand are 3 brothers who are resident Indians in independent retail trade business of food grains in Pune, Thane and Nagpur respectively. Sunil is in Pune, Shriram is in Thane, Shyam is in Nagpur. How does it matter? The turnover of financial year 2021, बुद्धि चलता बुद्धि, last year 9 करोड़ है सुनील का टर्नओवर, श्रीराम का 10 करोड़ एंड श्याम का 12 करोड़. लास्ट ईयर का टर्नओवर ग्रेटर देन 10 करोड़. टिडिंग. चल छोड़. They regularly purchase food grains from another resident, Mr. Ashwath, a wholesaler in Mumbai. मतलब can I say these are buyers and he is a seller? अरे boss, listen, no, they are retailers and they buy from the wholesaler Ashwath. So these people are buyers, the 3 brothers, and Ashwath is the seller. I think I am already having idea about what this question is. Sunil का last year का turnover does not exceed 10 करोड़. तो 194Q cannot apply. TCS will apply. अगर अश्वथ का last year का turnover, the turnover of Ashwath last year was 18 करोड़. So listen, seller का exceeding 10 crore है, but buyer का not exceeding. That means TCS will apply. In case of Sunil, shall we specify? In case of Sunil का transaction with Ashwath, TCS will apply. Shriram का turnover last year was 10, not exceeding 10, not exceeding 10. So in case of Shriram also, TCS will apply. But in case of Shyam, it was 12 crore. That means if the buyer ka last year ka turnover has exceeded 10 crore, then TDS will apply. Listen, if buyer ka last year ka turnover exceeds 10 crore, then TDS applies. If only seller ka exceeds 10 crore, only seller ka, जैसे सुनील एंड श्रीराम के केस में only seller का, then TCS will apply. If both का exceed, in case of Shyam, buyer seller both का exceeding, then TDS will apply. 194Q will apply. That means Ashwath is selling anything to Sunil, there will be TCS. Ashwath is selling anything to Shriram, there will be TCS. And Ashwath selling anything to Shyam, Shyam will deduct Ashwath ka TDS. Correct or no? बाकी चीजें सेम है. More than 50 lakh rupees, 0.1% on the excess. Threshold is 50 lakh. First 50 lakh पे no TDS, no TCS. Whatever is applicable. No TDS, no TCS. Excess के ऊपर 0.1. Excess के ऊपर 0.1. With the difference being that if it is a case of TDS, then Shyam will have to deduct at the time of credit or payment whichever is earlier. 194 क्यों बोलता है whichever is earlier. But if it is TCS which Ashwath will collect from Sunil and Shriram, it will be on receipt basis. So whenever he will get money, he will collect TCS. Whenever he will get money, he will collect TCS. But TDS, Shyam will deduct at the time of credit or payment, whichever is earlier. They all follow mercantile system of accounting. Aggregate amount credited by the brothers to the account of Ashwath during the month, each month of 21-22 is shown. Acha. So what they have credited each month is given to you. From April to March, Sunil has purchased this from Ashwath month by month. Shriram has purchased this, Shyam has purchased this. So wherever they will exceed 50 lakh rupees, see, no TDS TCS, no TDS TCS, no TDS TCS. Wherever they will exceed 50 lakh rupees, in these two cases, Ashwath will start collecting TCS receipt basis after receiving 50 lakhs. After receiving 50 lakhs. But here, Shyam will start deducting TDS after 50 lakhs ka credit or payment, whichever is earlier happens. Okay. It may be assumed that the entire amount relating to Mr. Ashwath for a particular month is credited to his account on the last date of the month. Matlab, this is credited on 30th April, credited on 31st May, credited on 30th June. What is the date of credit? Last day of the month. And paid entirely on the last date of the next month. क्या confusion डालता है. मतलब, on 30th April, all the three brothers will pass entry purchase account debit to Ashwath account. Credit कब करेगा? 30th April. And when will they pay? They will pay these monies on 31st May. 31st May को they will pass this entry of purchase, creditor the account. 30th June को they will pay. Means credit होगा same month, payment होगा next month. So for Shyam, we have to see same month because it is whichever is earlier, credit or payment whichever is earlier. But for Sunil and Shriram, it is TCS. So we will have to see from next month. 50 lakh cross हुआ उसके next month से, because TCS is receipt basis. So purchases are credited on, मतलब April का purchase 5.9, 7.5, 9.8 credited to the account of Ashwath. Purchase account debit to Ashwath account 30th April. Paid to Ashwath 31st May. May का purchases credited on 31st May, paid on 30th June. June का purchase credited on 30th June, paid on 31st July. If it's a case of TDS, which is the case of Shyam, we have already discussed that. So that will come at the earlier of the two events, credit or payment. But if it's a case of TCS, then it comes receipt basis. So it will come from next month as and when payments happen. Ashwath also debits the accounts of Sunil, Shriram and Shyam on the last day of the month in which the sales have been effected. ठीक है. Details are given, whichever month they cross. Now you can, if you want, you have space here, no? In the space that is given to you here, if you want, you can write the cumulative figures also. So what is cumulative purchase of Sunil, cumulative purchase of Shriram, cumulative purchase? So supposingly, to give you an example, 5.9 हुआ, तो ये 6 and 7 13 हो गया, ये 21.2 ऐसा करके क्यूमुलेटिव ऑल्सो यू कैन इफ यू वांट टू जस्ट फाइंड आउट फ्रॉम वेयर 50 लाख इज गेटिंग एक्सीडेड. इतना डिटेल में करने का जरूरत नहीं. वंस आई मीन व्हेन आई से डिटेल मींस अननेसेसरली वर्क यू डोंट डू. इफ एनी ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस रिक्वायर देन वी विल डू इट. वी हैव टू आंसर एमसीक्यू नो. क्वेश्चन का रिक्वायरमेंट होगा तो करेंगे. फिर मिस्टर सुनील्स फ्रेंड कृष्णा एंटर्ड इनटू अ वन टाइम ट्रांजैक्शन विद अश्वथ. मतलब ये सुनील श्रीराम श्याम क्या है, दे आर डूइंग एवरी मंथ ट्रेडिंग, बट कृष्णा डिड वन टाइम ट्रेडिंग फॉर परचेस ऑफ फूड ग्रेन्स ऑफ 60 lakh on 30th June 21. कृष्णा परचेस्ड 60 lakhs का फूड ग्रेन्स on 30th June, on which date he credited the said sum to the account of Mr. Ashwath. क्रेडिट कर लिया. However, he paid the said sum on 2nd July 21. अभी देखो, these three brothers are doing every month. कृष्णा का वन ट्रांसेक्शन है 60 लाख रुपीस. अगेन लाइक वी डिसाइडेड फॉर दीज थ्री ब्रदर्स, टीडीएस आएगा कि टीसीएस आएगा, वी विल हैव टू चेक. नो चेक करें. कम हियर. कृष्णा का लास्ट ईयर का टर्नओवर इज 15 करोड़. मतलब कहना ही से बायर का, अश्वथ का तो ऑलरेडी एक्सीड हुआ ही है 10 करोड़. वी हैव ऑलरेडी सीन 18 करोड़. इधर क्या रे, अश्वथ का तो ऑलरेडी एक्सीडेड, कृष्णा का भी एक्सीडेड. क्या दिमाग लगा के इंस्टीट्यूट हैज आस्क्ड दिस क्वेश्चन. इफ यू डोंट पे अटेंशन तो गया, खत्म है. What brain they have used here, just focus on that. Krishna का turnover exceeds 10 crore last year. Only buyer than TDS. Only seller than TCS. Both. Krishna and Ashwath both, even if it is one time transaction. तो आप बोलेगा सर TDS same as Shyam. Just for your knowledge. Just for your knowledge. The new section of TDS got triggered from 1st July 21. 1st July 21. Okay. The new section of TDS. Which section? 194Q. That's the section of TDS. Come on, tell me, yes or no? When the section got triggered on 1st July 21, that means any transaction till 30th June will not attract TDS. No TDS. Please pay attention. TDS happens at the time of credit or payment, whichever is earlier. Credit कब किया? 30th June. And payment on 2nd July. What is earlier? 30th June. उस टाइम पे TDS का section only was not there. It came from 1st July. अगर ये एक डेट भी आगे हो गया होता, इफ द क्रेडिट वुड हैव हैपेंड ऑन 1st July, देन लिसन, बायर का लास्ट ईयर का टर्नओवर इज एक्सीडिंग 10 करोड़. वी आर क्रॉसिंग 50 lakhs इन द करंट ईयर, टीडीएस विल गेट अट्रैक्टेड. बट इफ द ट्रांजैक्शन हैज हैपेंड टिल 30th of June, TDS cannot come. And if TDS is not coming, that means it becomes a case of TCS. What is bigger, TDS or TCS? If TCS is applicable in any of the other parts, part 1, 2, 3, 4 of TCS, then TCS will apply. 194Q will not apply. For example, alcoholic liquor for human consumption, or sale of motor car, or sale of licenses, or tendu leaves, or timber, or any of these things, then TCS will apply. But if it is a case of part 5, then TDS will apply. So TDS gets preference, like we did for Shyam. TDS gets preference. In case of Sunil and Sriram, their turnover did not exceed 10 crore last year. So TDS is not applicable, so we said TCS will come. Otherwise, preference is given to TDS. Here also we wanted to do that. But the transaction happened before the TDS ka section got triggered. They have tested you on the effective date of the amendment. Karo crash course. Karo jaake crash course. The date of the amendment has been tested here, 1st July. So till 30th June, TDS cannot apply. And if TDS is not applicable, then TCS will apply because other conditions. Seller का last year का turnover, current year more than 50 lakh, on receipt basis 10 lakh के ऊपर, obviously first 50 lakh पे नहीं आता है. We know that. Excess का 0.1%, excess का 0.1%. So finally only Shyam will deduct TDS, Sunil, Sriram and Krishna के केस में Ashwath will collect TCS. मित्रों, मैं हैरान हूं मित्रों. On the basis of the facts given above, choose the appropriate answer. Are the provisions of TDS under Income Tax Act attracted in respect of purchase transactions with Mr. Ashwath? If so, in whose hands and at what rate and what point of time? Ignore the one-time transaction of Krishna for the purpose of this MCQ. Means this you ignore. That means you have to focus only on Sunil, Shriram and Shyam ka transaction. In Sunil, Shriram and Shyam ka transaction, we have already decided that only Shyam will deduct. They are only asking TDS here. So, Shriram and Shyam, wrong. Shriram and Shyam, wrong. Shyam is liable to deduct TDS 0.1% on the amount of each purchase after crossing threshold limit of 50 lakh at the time of credit, because TDS comes whichever is earlier. And in this question, what are all the buyers doing? First credit, then payment. First credit, then payment. So, what is earlier? Credit. So, at the time of credit, after crossing 50 lakh. Now, if they have said 31st October, you can check is October ke month ke andar we are crossing 50 lakhs or no, that you can add up and you can check cumulative figures if required. 0.1% at the time of credit. Shyam is liable to deduct tax at 1%. Anyways, this is wrong. Agar aap nahi bhi check karoge to this is wrong. Why? Because this much, for that you need to know the TDS correct. 0.1% on excess over 50 lakh. First of all, only Shyam will deduct because Shriram, Sunil and Krishna ka they have told to ignore, but even if you pay attention to it, it's a case of TCS. And one, to ye dono to cancel ho gaya. And now 1% is not the rate. So anyways, this is the only remaining option. Use your brain, be a little clever while you are doing this. Are provisions of TCS under Income Tax Act attracted in respect of sale transactions by Ashwath? If so, from whom does he have to collect? At what rate? What point of time? Ignore the Krishna ka transaction. Yahan pe this line is relevant because Krishna falls under TCS. But ignore. If Krishna you have to ignore, then who are the remaining two people? Sunil and Shriram. Because Shyam will deduct TDS, so only Sunil and Shriram ka TCS. And this will be from when? Not from credit or payment, whichever is earlier. No. TCS comes receipt basis. So, it will be from the next month onwards. Because whatever is the credit of the current month, payment is happening next month. So, Ashwath is receiving next month. So, 50 lakh ka sales cross hone ke next month mein when it is received from receipt basis. But whom do we have to collect from? Only Sunil and Shriram. Shyam se nahi. Krishna se we have to, but in this question they are asking to ignore that. Ashwath has to collect from Sunil and Shriram. Barabar hai. But at 1%, to wrong ho gaya na. 1% nahi hai na. So if you remember the rate, you won't go wrong here. Correct? Ashwath has to collect tax from Sunil and Shriram, right? 0.1% on the amount exceeding the prescribed threshold of 50. At the time of receipt of such amount every month. Obviously, after crossing 50 lakh receipt basis, then you can calculate whether it is happening in case of Sunil and Shriram the same months or no. Apparently, this only appears to be, right? Collect from Sunil at 1% is wrong and collect from Sunil at 0.1 is also wrong. Sunil and Shriram dono se aayega and thus B is going to become your answer. What would be the applicable rate of TDS if Mr. Ashwath fails to furnish PAN to the deductor based on the answer to MCQ 6? MCQ 6 mein there was only one deductor, Shyam. And what will be the applicable rate of TCS if the collective fails to furnish PAN to Mr. Ashwath? So TDS and TCS, देखो 6 के answer में we have decided Shyam will deduct TDS and 7 के answer में we have decided that Ashwath will collect TCS of Sunil and Shriram. If PAN is furnished, it is 0.1% in both cases. If PAN is not furnished, then what happens? What happens to the TDS of 194Q? Normally 206AA क्या बोलता है? Section or 20% whichever is higher. But for 194Q it is, if you remember, 5%. 194Q में 194O में 5% है, 192A में MMR है, डिटेल में. अब क्रैश कोर्स में कैसे ये सब आएगा यार आपको? And what do you think when you ask the faculty? How dare you ask the faculty, sir, I am watching only your revision lectures, can I get exemption? Really? गजब बेइज्जती है यार. 5% TDS. TCS में क्या है? TCS में what is the normal system? Double or 5% whichever is higher. But for this it is not double or 5%, it is 1%. Do you remember that? So TDS का rate will become 5%. पहले इन्होंने TDS का पूछा है and second TCS का 1%. So 5% and 1%. That is going to be your answer. 8 का answer B. If the value of purchases by Mr. श्याम मतलब TDS वाला केस पूछ रहा है आपको, was 70% of the monthly figures given in the table, then what would be the TDS or TCS implication? अच्छा 70 मतलब ये जो फिगर्स है टोटल 98 लाख नहीं, उसका 70% करोगे तो स्टिल वी आर एक्सीडिंग 50 लाख रुपीज ना, इट्स ऑलमोस्ट 100 lakhs, तो 70 लाख के आसपास आएगा. इफ यू वांट टू नो द एक्चुअल 98 का 0.7 68.6 होएगा. अभी ये सब परचेसेस को आप 70% कर दो, 70%, तो टोटल 98 का 70% 68.6. स्टिल ऑल द कंडीशंस. बायर का लास्ट ईयर का टर्नओवर इज मोर देन 10 करोड़. वंस बायर का है ना तो सेलर का इररिलेवेंट है. इट्स अ केस ऑफ टीडीएस. इस बार इट विल बी ओनली ऑन 18.6 बिकॉज 50 lakhs तक देयर विल बी नो टीडीएस. एक्सेस के ऊपर 18.6 के ऊपर देयर विल बी 0.1% टीडीएस. व्हाट विल बी द इंप्लीकेशन? श्याम हैज टू डिडक्ट स्टिल ऑन 18.6. पहले देखो 98 हैगा तो फर्स्ट 50 नो टीडीएस, 48 पे टीडीएस काटेगा. अब अगर 70% हो गया दैट इज 68.6, तो 18.6 के ऊपर फर्स्ट 50 नो टीडीएस, बैलेंस पे 0.1%. हैज टू डिडक्ट ऑन 18.6. दिस ओनली इज अपीयरिंग टू बी राइट. नीड नॉट डिडक्ट, रॉन्ग, क्योंकि 50 लाख अभी भी क्रॉस हो रहा है. अश्वथ हैज टू कलेक्ट, रॉन्ग. बी एंड सी आर बोथ रॉन्ग. एनीवेज हमने 18.6 देख लिया ना. व्हाट्स द टोटल परचेसेस? 68.6. फर्स्ट 50 lakhs नो टीडीएस, 18.6 के ऊपर टीडीएस. What would be the TDS TCS implication in respect of the single purchase transaction of Krishna from Mr. Ashwath? Either if you don't remember the effective date of the amendment, तो आप पक्का TDS ही बोल के आओगे. Why sir? Because sir buyer का turnover cross हुआ then TDS. Agreed. Buyer का turnover cross हुआ तो TDS. Agreed, totally agreed. But the section of TDS got activated from 1st July and this transaction was already credited on 30th June. So no TDS, and if no TDS that means it will become a case of मित्रों, that means it will become a case of TCS. आप समझा क्या घुमाया है bro, घुमाया है. Okay, so what do we have? Krishna has to deduct TDS? No, Krishna does not have to deduct TDS. Krishna has to deduct? No. Krishna has to deduct? No. Ashwath has to collect on 10 lakh being the amount exceeding 50. 60 का वन टाइम ट्रांजेक्शन है तो फर्स्ट 50 के ऊपर नहीं आएगा, 10 के ऊपर. मजा आया केस सिनेरियो. चलो. Poor Aid is a charitable trust registered under section 12AB. Its main object is relief of the poor. During the previous year 21-22, it received 50 lakh by way of corpus donation, out of which it invested 85%, that is 42.5 in post office saving, which is allowed as per 11.5. It was of the view that 7.5 lakh, which is 15%, is eligible for unconditional accumulation. Rubbish. Till the time you don't use that money, you have to keep it invested in the 11.5. The unutilized funds have to be invested. The trust also withdrew 2.5 lakhs out of 42.5 deposited in saving bank account and applied the same for relief for the poor. You have utilized money from corpus donation. They have tested you on the amendment. Corpus में से अगर application करता है तो do you get the benefit of application? नहीं. Future में when you restore that corpus money, दोनों के लिए, if there is any capital receipt like a loan taken, you use it for any application, or corpus you use it for application, it will not be allowed. Future में if you repay the loan or you restore the corpus money, at that time you will get the application benefit. Means ना तो trust is right about this 7.5 unconditional exemption नहीं है, and about the 2.5 also. Examine the tax implications. Trust, अच्छा listen, ये ऑप्शन यहां पे नहीं सिलेक्ट करना है. They have given 4 statements and which are the correct statements. ऑप्शन यहां पे आके आपको सिलेक्ट करना है. Hope you understand. Okay, so you have to check every statement. Trust is eligible for unconditional accumulation of 15%. Wrong. You have to keep it in 11.5. If one is wrong, तो ये दोनों ऑप्शन कट गया. ब्रेन चलाओ, ब्रेन चलाओ. Trust would be eligible to treat 2.5 lakh withdrawn from post office saving bank account as application. No, corpus money, loan money is not application. जब corpus को repay किया या loan को repay किया, then it will be application. So 2 is also wrong. तो ये भी कट गया. ले बचा ही option C. For that 3 and 4 both have to be right. Trust will not be eligible for benefit of 7.5 unless it invests in 11.5. तो ये correct statement है. It has to be right actually. Amount of 2.5 withdrawn from post office cannot be treated as application. This is also right. Excuse me. This is also right. So basically, anyways, पहले ही पता चल गया right होने वाला. क्या amendment के ऊपर they have tested. Welcome to Chartered Accountancy. ABC developers have completed their residential housing project Ashiana Gardens in Faridabad in May 21. It comprises of 8 residential units. 3 units were transferred to home buyers in June 21. And the remaining 5 units were transferred to home buyers in July 20. Okay. June में कितना? 3. And July में 5. All the units were by way of first time allotment. Residential unit. First time allotment. 43 CA. Difference between actual and stamp duty value. Up to 10% of actual is always allowed. But first time sale, consideration up to 2 crores, residential unit up to 30th June. Once again, if you remember, this amendment is applicable from 12th November 20 to 30th June. So यहाँ पे we will give margin of 20%, but here we will give only 10%. If the difference is up to 20% on what? Of actual, 20 of actual, then actual will be taken. And here 10% of actual. Consideration is 25 lakhs, so which is up to 2 crores. And the same was received by prescribed electronic units. Stamp duty value of each unit was 30 lakhs. 25 lakhs and 30 lakhs ka difference is 5 lakhs. The houses which are sold in this period, it is within 20% range. So ye 3 ghar ke liye we can take 25 lakhs. But the houses which are sold in this period, it is beyond the range of 10%. Here 10% safe harbor will apply. So we will have to take 30. So 30 into 5 plus 25 into 3. What would be the full value of consideration? 43 CA ka section jaake padho. So you will understand this transaction of 3 units is in this period, and July mein there are 5 units. First time sale, residential unit up to 2 crore. First time bola hai, residential unit up to 2 crore. So here you will get, because it is up to June, 20% window on actual. ये हमेशा actual पे होता है. And here you will get 10% on actual. So actual 25, stamp duty value 30. Here the difference is 20% allowed. But here the difference is 20% not allowed, because here we are going to allow only 10. So here 20 is allowed, but here it is not allowed. Therefore, here we can take our actual 25, but here we will have to take stamp duty value of 30. Unless agreement date stamp duty value ऐसा कुछ दिया होता. So 3 houses का 25 and 5 houses ka 30, 75 plus 1.5, 2.25 crore, which is given to you in your option C. 2.25 crore is going to be your answer. In option C, 2.25 crore is given. समझा क्या? चलो. The EBITDA of ABC Limited, an Indian company, for the current year is 10 crore. EBITDA is given. It paid interest of 5.2 to PQR Incorporation UK, which is a specified foreign company in relation to ABC. Specified foreign company मतलब 26% or more. 115 BBD. मतलब they are associated enterprises. Can I say interest paid to non-resident associated? Non-resident associated मतलब 94B का implication. Arm's length price as per cup was 4.15. मतलब सबसे पहले तो it is beyond arm's length also. As per arm's length 4.15 होना चाहिए, but we are giving 5.2. तो anyways 1 crore and 5 lakh तो already 92C की वजह से disallow हो जाएगा. And the remaining also, because 30% of EBITDA is only 3 crore. So the remaining 1.15 also will be disallowed. See, this is the actual interest. This is the arm's length interest. So 1.05 तो ऐसे भी disallow करता. Associated enterprise को we are paying more interest. Plus then we have to also invoke 94B and restrict the deduction to 30%. And ABC suo motu made the transfer pricing adjustment while computing the total income. On the basis of the above facts, examine the correctness of the following statements. Assume that no other interest. ठीक है. The arm's length price as per 92C will be 1.05. आर्म्स लेंथ एडजस्टमेंट बराबर है. हाउ? 5.2 and 4.15 का डिफरेंस. एक्सेस इंटरेस्ट अंडर 94B वुड बी 1.15. ये भी बराबर है बिकॉज 30% ऑफ एबिटा इज 3 करोड़. 1.05 तो ऑलरेडी डिसअलाउ हो गया बिकॉज इट इज मोर देन आर्म्स लेंथ. सो बैलेंस 1.15. सेकेंडरी एडजस्टमेंट 2.2 का नहीं. सेकेंडरी एडजस्टमेंट सिर्फ इतने का ही होगा. वॉट एवर इज डिसअलाउड इन 92C, वॉट एवर वी डू इन 94B, जाके चेक कर लो. सेकेंडरी एडजस्टमेंट किसका करना पड़ता है? एनी चेंज ड्यू टू ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग, वेदर इट इज ड्यू टू 92 और ड्यू टू सेफ हार्बर रूल्स और ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग ऑफिसर और एडवांस प्राइसिंग अग्रीमेंट, इन सब फैक्टर्स की वजह से इफ देयर इज एनी डिसअलावेंस व्हिच इज 1.05, 5.2 एंड 4.15 का डिफरेंस, तो वी हैव टू डू सेकेंडरी एडजस्टमेंट. 94B में जो डिसअलाउ होता है उसका कोई सेकेंडरी एडजस्टमेंट नहीं होगा, तो रॉन्ग है. एक्सेस इंटरेस्ट अंडर 94B वुड बी 2.2, नो सेकेंडरी एडजस्टमेंट, रॉन्ग. यहां पे वी आर डिसअलाउइंग 1.05. आई हैव सॉल्व्ड, लेट मी एक्सप्लेन द सॉल्यूशन टू यू. एक्चुअल इंटरेस्ट इज 5.2, लेट मी एक्सप्लेन, देन यू विल अंडरस्टैंड द ऑप्शन आल्सो. आर्म्स लेंथ इज 4.15, तो पहली बात तो 92C में डिसअलाउ हो जाएगा. एक्सेस इंटरेस्ट पेड टू एसोसिएटेड एंटरप्राइज, एंड इफ इट इज 92C तो सेकेंडरी एडजस्टमेंट विल बी एप्लीकेबल ऑफ 1.05 crores. करेक्ट? नाउ 1.05 ऑलरेडी डिसअलाउ हो गया, बचा 4.15, बट वी विल रेस्ट्रिक्ट इट टू 30% ऑफ एबिटा. वी विल डिसअलाउ 1.15, लेकिन इसके ऊपर 92C कैन नॉट बी एप्लीकेबल. इसके ऊपर सेकेंडरी एडजस्टमेंट नहीं लग सकता है. सेकेंडरी एडजस्टमेंट इज गोइंग टू बी एप्लीकेबल तो जो भी ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग की वजह से डिसअलाउ हुआ है. 94B इज नॉट डिसअलाउड बिकॉज ऑफ आर्म्स लेंथ प्राइस, इट इज डिसअलाउड बिकॉज इट इज बियॉन्ड 30% ऑफ एबिटा. तो दिस विल सफर सेकेंडरी एडजस्टमेंट, दिस विल नॉट सफर, इसलिए B इज नॉट. एक्सेस इंटरेस्ट अंडर 94B रॉन्ग. यही बचता है. आर्म्स लेंथ एडजस्टमेंट वुड बी 1.05 एंड इंटरेस्ट एज पर 94B वुड बी 1.05, 1.15. Secondary adjustment is required for 1.05 unless of course you have that option 18% plus 12% plus 4%, and this becomes the only remaining correct answer. मित्रों समझा क्या? चलिए क्वेश्चन 14. MNO incorporation and PQR incorporation are two country M based companies, दोनों foreign company engage in the trading of oil seeds. MNO sold oil seeds of 1.8 crore during 21-22 to XYZ, an Indian company, through an agent in Delhi who secures orders in India mainly for MNO. Stop. दिल्ली का जो एजेंट है वो MNO के लिए ही काम कर रहा है. डिपेंडेंट एजेंट है. डिपेंडेंट एजेंट का मतलब होता है इन इंटरनेशनल टैक्स लैंग्वेज, डिपेंडेंट एजेंट मीन्स इट्स अ बिजनेस कनेक्शन. Once it's a business connection, the transactions that you have done in India are going to be liable for tax. It will trigger the principle of source. मतलब MNO incorporation wanted to open an office in Mumbai and in India मतलब and sell from there. But उसने क्या किया? Office नहीं open किया. It appointed an agent. That agent is not independent. That agent secures mainly orders for me only. मतलब he is dependent on MNO. And thus it will trigger the principle of source. MNO का transaction will be taxable. Let's be clear. PQR also sold oil seeds of the value 2.1 crore during 21-22 through an independent agent carrying on agency business in Mumbai. मतलब PQR का जो agent है, that's not mainly working for PQR. He is selling for everyone. The independent agent in Mumbai rendered services to many other companies which are not related to PQR in any manner. Here I would like to explain to you a small concept called significant economic presence. Significant economic presence. दो कंपनी का बात हो रहा है. There is a company called MNO who has a dependent agent. Therefore, it is Indian income irrespective of amount. That you have understood. I believe you have understood because that agent of MNO is actually, you can say, like an employee of MNO because he is mainly working for MNO. So MNO का 1.8 का जो income है, that is going to be taxable in India. That topic is over. Let's talk about PQR. PQR का agent is not mainly dependent on PQR. He is independent. He works for everyone. He is not like an employee of PQR. So that way, PQR will escape taxation which applies on MNO. But here we have a circular on something called significant economic presence, that when a foreign assessee, please listen to this explanation. When a foreign assessee is selling anything in India through dependent agent, वो तो फिर हमारा ही हो गया, then that is going to attract tax. That topic is over. But selling through independent agent, and you cross 2 crore rupees, then we will trigger the principle of sorts on those people also. तो वैसे PQR का agent is independent. If this amount was less than 2 crore, we would not have triggered the principle of sorts. But significant economic presence के circular में it is mentioned that if 2 crore is crossed, then it will be treated as Indian income. भले independent agent है, but if it is crossing 2 crore, then that income is also going to be taxable in India. Look at how they have given the question. For that company which has dependent agent and any amount will be taxable, they have given less than 2 crores. But for that company who has independent agent, then it is taxable only after 2 crores. So they have given purposely 2 crores. Okay. In short, दोनों का transactions will be taxable in India. Examine the taxability of, see, MNO का dependent agent, so any amount taxable. PQR का independent agent, but more than 2 crores, so that is also taxable. Income of MNO is attributable to operations carried out in India by its agent in Delhi in respect of sale to XYZ would be deemed to accrue or arise in India in the hands of MNO and be chargeable to tax. Correct hai? Income of PQR attributable to the sale transaction with XYZ would be deemed to accrue or arise in India in PQR and be chargeable to tax. Both MNO and PQR का income will be chargeable to tax. MNO तो बहुत obvious है, PQR because वो significant economic presence के circular में 2 crore का amount is mentioned. Mostly this is only right. No part of MNO PQR would be chargeable. Wrong है. Income of MNO would be deemed to accrue or arise in India, but not PQR. Wrong, क्योंकि 2 crore cross हो रहा. PQR would be deemed to accrue or arise in India, but not MNO. This is also wrong. Anyways, we have already discussed. दोनों के लिए income is going to be taxable in India. दोनों का income is going to be taxable in India. Okay. And this brings us to the last MCQ. These are all standalone MCQs, so only the first 10 were case scenario based. But danger MCQ. खतरनाक MCQ. Danger. Residential status के ऊपर. Mr. Raj is an Indian citizen living in country T for the last 10 years. His brother Rahul also left India 10 years before and settled in country Q. He has become citizen of country Q. मतलब राज इंडियन सिटीजन 10 years से आउटसाइड इंडिया, राहुल फॉरेन सिटीजन and he is also 10 years outside. Prior to that, they have always been in India since birth, so they are born in India. Their parents were also born in India. Okay. Both of them come on a visit to India during the months of June, July and August every year up to 2021. So last 4 years का अगर वो सब find out करना रहेगा ना, so they come in India June, July, August every year 2021 up to 2021. Both brothers decided to start a business in India, hence visited India for setting up business on 1st December. Okay. So they are visiting India for setting up a business on 1st December. Anyways, last 10 years they were not here only. 1st December से they have come. मतलब उनका current year का stay in India we can start counting from 1st December. Income of Raj and Rahul is 20 lakh each, out of which foreign sources is 5.5 for Raj and 4.5 for Rahul. तो Indian income कितना हुआ? अरे 15 लाख क्रॉस हुआ तो वन मोर रेसिडेंशियल स्टेटस का पॉइंट इज एप्लीकेबल नो. राज का 20 माइनस 5.5, राज के लिए 14.5 आ रहा है एंड राहुल के लिए 15.5. व्हाट इज द रेसिडेंशियल स्टेटस? ऑप्शंस आर गिवन. एवरीथिंग कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा ब्रो, एवरीथिंग वी विल हैव टू सिट एंड कैलकुलेट. सब कुछ करना पड़ेगा. समझा क्या? चलो लेट्स सी द डिटेल्स ऑफ राज. Raj and Rahul. Raj is Indian citizen. Rahul is country Q. These are only the facts that are given in the question. He is an Indian citizen. He is a foreign citizen. Residential status पूछा है, 3 कंडीशन देखने का, 182, 63, 65 या 15 लाख का इनकम. One thing I can tell you that 15 lakh वाला condition cannot apply to Rahul because that is for Indian citizen. And Raj का Indian income is 14.5. इसका देखो कितना शाना है इंस्टीट्यूट. How clever they are. The person who is Indian citizen, that person's Indian income. We don't have to see total income. We have to see Indian income and foreign income only if controlled from India. Correct or no? So 14.5 is less than 15 lakh. So Raj cannot become resident because of 15 lakh वाला condition. And Rahul का 15 lakh cross हुआ मगर वो foreign citizen है. मैं आपको ना residential status, I am not doing revision lecture, still I am revising. 182 in the current year. 60, 365, 60 current year, 365 last 4 years with some exceptions. एंड थर्ड citizen of India, Indian income more than 15 lakh. Indian income and income from foreign but controlled from India. More than 15 lakh. Citizen more than 15 lakh, not a resident anywhere else. Citizen more than 15 lakh, not a resident anywhere else. Number of days तो हम लोग count करेंगे. See, from December they are in India, no? From 1st December they are in India. And they leave on 3rd April. मतलब 31st March तक तो India में थे. Days we will calculate. But 15 lakh का criteria cannot apply to Raj. Why? He is Indian citizen. But 15 lakh cross नहीं हुआ. Cannot apply to Rahul. 15 cross हुआ but foreign citizen. Look at how clever they are. The person who is crossing 15 is foreign citizen. And the person who is Indian citizen not crossing 15. So that condition is over. अब बचा 2, 182, 63, 65. One by one we will check. उसके लिए let's check the current year का stay. Current year का जो stay है that is December, Jan, Feb, March. देखो 1st December को देखे then till April they were here. If till April they were here मतलब 31st March तक हमको देखना है ना. So 121 days दोनों का. मतलब लेट्स बी क्लियर 182 का कंडीशन ऑल्सो कैंसल नॉट फुलफिलिंग कम ऑन 182 का कंडीशन इज कैंसल बिकॉज दे आर नॉट फुलफिलिंग 15 लाख का कंडीशन नहीं अभी बचा 63 65 फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल 60 इज हैपनिंग 365 भी चेक कर लेते हैं इन केस दैट इज नॉट हैपनिंग देन आवर आंसर इज नॉट रेजिडेंट इफ इट इज हैपनिंग विल कंफर्म आर दे फॉलोइंग इन द एक्सेप्शन विल सी दैट But last 4 years देख लो they have been coming to India in June, July, August every year. So June, July, August, 30, 31, 31 into 4. हमने 92 into 4 करोगे तो 368, 368. मतलब 60, 365 इनका हो तो रहा है. Okay, is it applicable? First of all, are they fulfilling 182 वाला condition? No. तो that is over. Are they residential status कर रहे हो ना तो 182 देखना है 63, 65 देखना है 15 लाख वाला 182 not fulfill 15 lakh वाला not दोनों के लिए not one is not crossing 15 lakh other is foreign citizen only option is 63 65 63 65 63 65 now 63 65 is not applicable when या तो citizen of India है okay citizen of India who is going outside for earning purposes citizen of India who is going outside for a purpose of earning तो 63 65 is not applicable या citizen or person of Indian origin who is coming for a visit तो 63 65 is not applicable but if their Indian income crosses 15 lakh rupees and यहाँ पे Indian citizen foreign citizen doesn't matter if the income is crossing 15 lakh then it is applicable but not as 63 65 but 123 65 चलिए देखते हैं are they falling in the exception first citizen of India going outside for earning नहीं correct or no okay citizen or PIO who are coming for a visit and here institute ने एक word use किया है look at that word in the question they visited India क्या बोला they visited India and this suggested answer given by institute is based on the word that they have given institute is saying that ये लोग visit पे आए if they have come here for the purpose of visit then 63 65 is not applicable it's a little controversial because sir खाली बोलने के लिए they have come but what is the purpose of their visit they have come to set up some business they have come here to set up some business if they have come here to set up some business तो वो विजिट में काउंट होगा क्या इंस्टीट्यूट ने ये वर्ड पकड़ लिया बोला नहीं वी आर सेइंग नो दे हैव कम फॉर विजिट सेटिंग अप बिजनेस मे बी दे केम ओनली फॉर डूइंग अ सर्वे बिजनेस सेट नहीं हुआ तो चले गए वो लोग 3rd अप्रैल को दे हैव लेफ्ट इंडिया नो 3rd अप्रैल को दे हैव लेफ्ट इंडिया नो when they came for visit they are using this word visit they come on a visit and because of this word visit they said 63 65 not applicable 63 65 not applicable किसको because they are coming for the purpose of visit तो 63 65 not applicable तो अब राज की बात करते हैं 182 he is not doing 15 lakh is not crossing 63 65 is not applicable and thus 182 not fulfilled citizen नहीं है 63 65 not being fulfilled consequently राज तो बन गया हमारा नॉन रेसिडेंट Let's talk about Rahul. 182 is not fulfilling. Citizen of India more than 15 lakh का condition, even if it is more than 15 lakh, but that one is not applicable because he's foreign citizen. 6365 का condition apply करेगा क्या? Yes, because the income has exceeded. In case of Rahul, the income has exceeded 15 lakh rupees, and thus it will apply in the form of 12365, which he is fulfilling. 120 and 365 का condition he is fulfilling. ICAI has gone according to the word used in the question. They are coming for a visit. Let's be clear. They are coming for a visit. If they are coming for a visit, that means 6365 is not applicable, not applicable. 63, parents were also born in India, person of Indian origin. 6365 not applicable, not applicable. And thus, if you observe for Raj, all three conditions dissatisfied, ye to non-resident ban gaya. But in case of Rahul, even when all the three conditions are not satisfied, the income is crossing 15 lakh rupees. And if the income is crossing 15 lakh rupees, then 6365 will apply, not in the original form, but in the form of 12365, and which he is fulfilling, and therefore he will become resident, but not ordinarily resident. The only point of focus over here is the word visit, which institute has used, and then they have assumed that visit matlab 6365 not applicable. Dekho, 182 they are not fulfilling, 15 lakh wala not applicable, both for the respective reason. Raj ka we are not crossing 15 lakh, and Rahul ke liye foreign citizen hai. The remaining condition was 6365 not applicable because they are both PIO, parents born in India, they also born in India, coming for a purpose of visit. 6365 not applicable. So Raj ka to topic is over, non-resident. Rahul ke case mein, because income is exceeding 15 lakh, so 6365 will apply, but in the form of 12365, and thus Rahul will become resident but not ordinarily resident, and accordingly Raj is the first guy, is a non-resident, and Rahul is the second guy, that is resident but not ordinarily resident. Okay, so first guy Raj is a non-resident, and Rahul is resident but not ordinarily resident. That will become your final answer for this MCQ, and these are your MCQ based questions in your RTP. Now that the MCQ ka part is over, honestly speaking, subjective questions ka solutions are already given, but quickly I will discuss some brief points that I have to with as far as the subjective questions are concerned. For example, we have a question on slum sale. So there is a company Beta Limited which has got three units, Gamma, Sigma and Omega, which is transferring Omega units. So this unit, Omega unit, fixed asset, debtor. So we, as far as slum sale is concerned, we need net worth, no, assets minus liabilities. So we'll take these assets and these liabilities. Okay. This is going to be transferred. Using the following information, compute the capital gain and the tax. Cost inflation index, one thing we all know that for slum sale indexation is irrelevant. Lump sum consideration that we are getting is 600 lakhs. So what is the sale consideration? 600 lakhs. Okay. Fixed asset of Omega includes land which was purchased at 30 lakh in August 2012 and revalued at 45 lakh. And the stamp duty value is 42. अच्छा, fixed asset के अंदर land है, purchased for 30, revalued to 45. तो इसके अंदर land का जो value 45 है, that 45 we cannot take. In cost of acquisition we will take 30 because we have to ignore revaluation. And of course we have got remaining 230 का. Remaining 230 का written down value as per books of accounts of the machinery, but as for tax is concerned it is 155. As far as tax is concerned it is 155. तो देखो मैं समझाता हूं आपको. फिक्स्ड एसेट का टोटल गिवन टू इज 275, जिसमें 230 is machinery and 45 is land. So that's the total of 275 in books. These are book values. In land there is revaluation. 30 was made 45, so we will have to take 30. And in machinery, this is book value. We have to take the WDV as per tag. This is a depreciable asset. तो इसका 155 देना. Of course, debtors, creditors का तो कोई problem नहीं है. Debtors we have to take 400 and creditors 45. ये देगा आपको net worth. तो land का we will take 30. Machinery का we will take 155. Depreciable assets book value, non-depreciable asset WDV, non-depreciable asset book value, ignore any revaluation. So 30, 155, 400 total of assets minus 45. That will give us our net worth. But एक catch यहाँ पे ये है that the value of land stamp duty value is 42 lakhs on the date of slum sale. Okay, unit was set up in May 2010. Company does not opt for 115B डबल है, दैट मींस कंपनी इज इन ओल्ड रेजिम। अगर आप टैक्स कैलकुलेट कर रहे हो, पहली बात तो इट्स अ लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल एसेट, क्लियरली मोर देन 36 मंथ्स, तो 20% टैक्स लगेगा आपके कैपिटल गेन में एलटीसीजी के ऊपर। नाउ व्हेन इन केस यू हैव टू ऐड सरचार्ज, बिकॉज 600 lakhs का सेल दिखा रहा है ना 6 crore रुपीस का, कंपनी डज नॉट ऑप मतलब ओल्ड रेजिम वाला सरचार्ज लगाना है। इंडियन कंपनी, डोमेस्टिक कंपनी 0712। वन करेक्शन है, अपना जो एमसीक्यू का लेक्चर हुआ था ना, वन ऑफ द एमसीक्यू लेक्चर्स, कैपिटल गेन का एक क्वेश्चन था टुवर्ड्स द एंड, केस स्टडी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन। आई डोंट रिमेंबर द क्वेश्चन नंबर राइट नाउ, आई हैव रिटन इट समवेयर, जस्ट 1 second, गिव मी 1 second, जस्ट गिव मी। कैपिटल गेन का ना क्वेश्चन नंबर 101 इन आवर एमसीक्यू लेक्चर, ओके। देयर इज अ स्मॉल मिस्टेक ओवर देयर, वो एक्चुअली कंपनी हैज ऑप्टेड फॉर द न्यू रेजिम, तो वो सरचार्ज ना 7% नहीं, वो न्यू रेजिम के अंदर BAA BAB के अंदर वी हैव 10% नो, अकॉर्डिंगली दैट कैलकुलेशन विल चेंज, सरचार्ज 7% नहीं 10% होगा एट सेस, एंड द आंसर टू दैट ऑप्शन विल चेंज अकॉर्डिंगली। आई अपोलोजाइज, अगर आपको केयरफुल रहना है, इफ हियर दे आर सेइंग नॉट ऑप्टेड, दैट मींस ओल्ड वाला सरचार्ज लगेगा, ओल्ड वाला सरचार्ज कैन बी 0, 7 and 12, और अगर ऑप्ट किया होता देन 10% सरचार्ज विल बी एप्लीकेबल। Okay, so in that capital gain का MCQ which I am talking about, company had opted for the new regime, तो फिर 10% आपको सरचार्ज लेना है, तो erroneously it is sold as 7%, you have to take it as 10%, okay, okay। तो ये तो आपका टैक्स कैलकुलेशन होगा, कंपनी डज नॉट ऑप्ट दिया है, सी, सो यू कैलकुलेट द गेन, सेलिंग प्राइस माइनस कॉस्ट, कॉस्ट के लिए नेटवर्थ दे दिया है 30, 155, 400 इज द एसेट एंड 45 इज द लायबिलिटी, वो नेटवर्थ आपका कॉस्ट हो गया, गेन मिलेगा। बट देयर इज ओनली वन थिंग दैट आई वुड लाइक टू टेल यू, रिसेंटली देयर वाज अ चेंज इन स्लम सेल का कैलकुलेशन, दैट व्हाट आर द कंपनीज डूइंग व्हेन दे आर सेलिंग, नो दे आर अंडरवैल्यूइंग दिस। कंपनीज जानबूझ के अपना एसेट्स लोअर देन मार्केट प्राइस में दे, सो व्हेन वी विल टेक द सेलिंग प्राइस, जैसे हम लोग फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ एनी कैपिटल गेन्स, व्हाट डू वी डू, इफ देयर इज सेल ऑफ इमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी, एक्चुअल सेलिंग प्राइस और स्टैम्प ड्यूटी वैल्यू विच एवर इज हायर लेते हैं ना 50C के हिसाब से, we take no, that concept will apply here also। तो we will check is this 600 proper, इस 600 में हमने क्या क्या दे दिया, we have given our land जो purchased for 30 था, revalued to 45, revaluation has to be ignored for the purpose of cost of acquisition net worth, but stamp duty value is given no, land का हमको 42, तो we will take that stamp duty value of land, वो हमको लेना पड़ेगा, stamp duty of value of the land we will have to take, okay। So 42 is given to you as stamp duty value of the land। now what are the remaining assets का book value, 230 है मशीनरी का, डेटर्स का 400 है, that's the total of your assets, कितना आता है 672 is it, and minus आपका कुछ creditors है 45, that gives you 627। मतलब in other words, देखो these are the assets that we are giving इन स्लम सेल, ये लैंड का स्टैम्प ड्यूटी वैल्यू है, दीज आर द बुक वैल्यूज ऑफ द अदर एसेट्स, एंड ये लायबिलिटी, मतलब दिस इज द नेट दैट वी आर गिविंग अवे इन स्लम सेल, फॉर विच वी आर चार्जिंग ओनली 600 lakhs। खाली ये कॉन्सेप्ट कराने के लिए आई एम एक्चुअली डिस्कसिंग दिस क्वेश्चन विथ यू। तो नाउ दे आर सेइंग दैट जस्ट लाइक, अगर सपोजिंगली ये स्लम सेल नहीं होता एंड यू वुड हैव सोल्ड द एसेट्स इंडिविजुअली, एंड इंडिविजुअली जब ये लैंड बेचते तो सेलिंग प्राइस में यू वुड हैव टेकन 42 by applying 50C, you apply that here also, and accordingly land का value 42, बाकी assets का book value, liabilities का this value 627। what is your selling price 600, we will take whichever is higher, selling price will be 627, 600 नहीं लेगा 627, just that stamp duty value concept here also we have to apply, बाकी assets का we are taking book value, and what about cost of acquisition, वो तो net worth लेना है, so we will ignore revaluation, we will take this value 30 plus 155, ये भी ले लेते हैं, what is the value of assets 30 plus 155 plus 400, that total is 555 plus 30 585, minus आपका liability of 45, that gives you 540, 540 is the book value calculation, ये तो सेम है जैसा हम लोग normally we calculate, no, सेम है, so 627 is the selling price, 540 is the कॉस्ट प्राइस, नेटवर्थ 87 lakhs का आपका जो कैपिटल गेन आएगा विच इज लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन, इसके ऊपर 20%, 87 lakhs इज नॉट क्रॉसिंग 1 crore, तो सीधा से ऐड होगा तो सरचार्ज का कोई रेलेवेंस नहीं रहा, ऑफ कोर्स नो रेलेवेंस ऑफ सरचार्ज, ओके। और स्लम सेल पे इंडेक्सेशन का बेनिफिट नॉट एप्लीकेबल, ऑलराइट। सो दैट्स द ओनली थिंग दैट आई हैड टू डिस्कस। यहाँ पे एक्चुअली देखो नेटवर्थ का कैलकुलेशन, टैक्स का रेट्स एंड ऑल दैट यू आर अवेयर, वो 115BAA के अंदर वो 101 क्वेश्चन नंबर 101 ऑफ MCQs इन कैपिटल गेन चैप्टर। अभी यार 1800 क्वेश्चन में एक आध मिस्टेक, यू नो योर पासिंग मार्क्स इज 50% यार, 1800 में से एक मिस्टेक रह गया तो यार दैट मच क्रेडिट यू हैव टू गिव मी, ठीक है। तो फर्दर गोज टू प्रूव दैट वन थिंग ऑल्सो यू डोंट नो, देन यू कैनॉट डू एनीथिंग इन दिस सब्जेक्ट। इससे बड़ा प्रूफ क्या चाहिए, ओके। तो लिसन, मेन थिंग दैट आई हैड टू टीच यू हियर वाज सेलिंग प्राइस में भी स्टैम्प ड्यूटी वैल्यू का कॉन्सेप्ट लेना। नेक्स्ट इज अ वेरी वेरी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन ऑन PGBP का सम, ओके। तो दे हैव गिवन एक्सपेंसेस एंड ऑल दैट, क्रेडिट्स डेबिट्स एड लेस नो इफेक्ट करना है, एंड depreciation is given to you, machinery का fair market value of shares is given, number of employees taken for 80JJAA, you need to know this, and the company has opted for 115BAB। तो जब आप टैक्स कैलकुलेट करोगे you have to calculate that tax accordingly, that's the only catch here, that 115BAB मतलब न्यू रेजिम में गया तो चैप्टर 6 से नहीं मिलेगा, बट 80JJAA is allowed in न्यू रेजिम, 80M is allowed, 80LA is allowed, 80JJAA is allowed, ठीक है। बाकी सोल्यूशन इज गिवन, you can see that। next is the question on MAT with Ind AS, so they have given you the book profit before Ind AS, brought forward losses दिया है, OCI that will not be reclassified, not be reclassified को हमको लेना पड़ेगा, credits को add, debits को less, but changes in fair value of equity and revaluation surplus नहीं, मतलब these two will be added and this will be subtracted, correct। book profit is 97.54, brought forward losses are given as per books of accounts, as per books of accounts होता है तो we take business loss or UAD whichever is lower। transition amount is given to you 68 lakh which includes capital reserve 8 lakh and adjustment of 6 lakh relating to foreign operation, तो 68 minus 14 54 and credit balance है तो 54 को divide by 5 करके जो भी आंसर आता है I think 10.8 that you will have to add in your book profit, 10.8 sorry 10.8, 54 divide by 5 वो आप कर लेना क्या आता है 10.8, credit balance है तो ऐड करना है। so in 97.54 loss का adjustment you have to do, then you have to add this minus this, transition amount you have to adjust, and NCLT like they do in all the Ind AS वाला sums, NCLT is accepted, मतलब ये whichever is lower नहीं होगा, all four amounts। so 97.54 से start करेंगे, that's the process। subtract all the four amounts because insolvency petition has been accepted, okay, admitted and application for insolvency, so subtract all the four, then do the OCI adjustments and then do transition amount का adjustment, वो आपका बुक प्रॉफिट देगा, कैलकुलेट 15%, अगर सरचार्ज इफ इट इज मोर देन 1 करोड़ तो यू हैव टू डू इट, एंड देन दे हैव गिवन यू नॉर्मल इनकम टैक्स, तो इफ द मैट इज हायर देन नॉर्मल टैक्स तो मैट विल बी योर लायबिलिटी एंड द एक्सेस पेड विल बी अलाउड एज अ मैट क्रेडिट फॉर अ कैरी फॉरवर्ड ऑफ 15 years। दिस इज सिमिलर टू वन ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस दैट वी एनीवेज डू इन क्लास इटसेल्फ। एग्जामिन द करेक्टनेस, कंटेंशन, ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ charitable trust। institution runs a university solely for educational purposes and hospital for philanthropic purposes, means charitable purposes, both the hospital as well as the educational institution is being run for charitable purposes, okay। both university and hospital are not for profit, so they are further clarified, okay। gross receipt from the university is 3 crore and hospital also 3 crore, university and hospital 3 crore each, and they are saying that we are eligible for 1023 C, as in each case we are not exceeding the prescribed threshold, there would be no requirement to get the approval of commissioner or principal commissioner। देखो 1023 C का exemption कब मिलता है, या तो you are government owned or approved by commissioner, or total turnover is not exceeding a threshold which is amended to 5 crore, ये भी amendment के ऊपर question है, and you are saying sir हाँ 5 crore तो क्रॉस नहीं हुआ ना, 3 crore नहीं। Now, do you remember one more amendment that if the institution is doing both education and medical, both, तो total के ऊपर 5 crore का threshold लगेगा, and यहाँ पे 3 crore each है, so total is 6 crore. We have crossed the threshold, and we are non-government. So the only way to get 1023C is to get approval. Approval मिला तो ही, otherwise नहीं, because 5 crore का threshold cross हुआ है, individual limit नहीं मिलता है, you have to check the total. A registered trust with the main, so the statement is false, of course. Registered trust with the object of relief for the poor wants to set off its excess application of 27 lakh of 2021 last year while computing its income of the current year. Can I say this is also an amendment? Brought forward losses of charitable trust will no longer be adjusted. Brought forward deficit brought forward is not going to be adjusted. So again the statement is false. Charitable trust registered under 12AB borrowed 40 lakh from SBI for purchase of building for opening school in rural area for primary education. It spent the entire amount for the purpose and claimed as application. क्या borrowed money का application मिलेगा? Again an amendment. Borrowed money का application is not going to be allowed. हाँ, but if you repay that loan, then 5 lakh का application is going to be allowed. So 40 lakh का application not allowed, but as and when you repay the loan, so it is going to be allowed. Examine the provision of TDS TCS in the following cases. Rajesh remitted an amount of 580 towards maintenance expense of his son pursuing education in University of Australia and 780 to University of Australia for purpose of son's education out of loan taken from his employer. So he has not taken any loan from any authorized agent or any approved association. Both remittances were made through the same dealer under the liberalized remittance scheme. Same. देखो if it is foreign tour, without threshold we apply 5%. कोई threshold नहीं. Foreign tour operator direct 5% apply करेगा, but they are not tour operators. Correct or no? तो 7 lakh का threshold मिलेगा. And because both are done to the same, so 5.8, 7.8 total कितना होता है? 13.6 is it? First 7 lakh nothing and balance 6.6 के ऊपर there will be 5% TCS. 5% on 6.6 because 7 lakh का threshold मिलेगा. First 7 lakh के ऊपर कुछ नहीं. 5%. 5% why sir? देखो एक तो tour operator होता तो पूरे 13.6 पे 5% would have applied. It's not tour, so we get 7 lakh का threshold. Are we clear? And remaining 6.6, if it was education loan which we are giving to that education loan ka money which we are disbursing, means we are paying outside, that's a different thing. But here we have taken loan from our employer. Our employer has already given us the loan and we are sending the money outside. That means we are not sending money outside for paying off the loan. Loan we have taken from our employer in India. We are only sending money as fees. We are not sending money as loan, and thus 5% will apply. That 0.5% ka benefit is not going to be available. Mr. Appy, a resident Indian who is ECP, e-commerce participant, sells goods worth 84 lakh through e-commerce website High Sale, which is ECO. Then of course, ECO will pay the ECP now. Mr. Appy has not furnished PAN or Aadhaar to the e-commerce operator. He has furnished return of income of all the assessment years before the due date of filing. देखो, अगर return was not filed, then that new amendment would have again been applicable. Correct or no? But because return has filed, then of course the only thing is actual TDS rate of 1%, or if PAN is not furnished, no? So 5%. 5% का TDS is going to be 20 नहीं लगता है. ये वाले question में, ये वाले section में 20 नहीं लगता है. It is going to be applicable at 5%. In this 194O and 194Q, it is 5%. Okay. ABC Limited, a domestic company, applied for advance ruling on 1/4/21 when AAR was in existence. In relation to tax liability arising out of transactions valuing 110 crore, which is proposed to be undertaken by it, the advance ruling was pronounced on 31st August. Is it binding? And would your answer change if the advance ruling was pronounced on 30th 9/21? What would be the remedy available to ABC Limited if it is aggrieved by advance ruling on 30th 9? First of all, I hope you remember, again this is a question on amendment, that till a certain date AAR was in existence, and now they see in settlement commission they said from 1st February abolished, but in AAR they said notified date. So now those students who have attended the lectures long time ago, for them, and that is why I am waiting for the judicial update and statutory update, because I cannot keep the case law lecture before that. The in-house students, please understand this, that the notified date is 1st September 21 from the date when BAR will take over the work of AAR. So till 31st August, the ruling will be given by AAR, and if it is September, then the ruling will be given by BAR. If the ruling is given by AAR, it is binding. AAR ka ruling is, what is the only difference in AAR BAR? Authority for advance ruling, board for advance ruling. AAR का ruling is binding, yes, but BAR का ruling is not binding. You can appeal to High Court against ruling of BAR. The ruling pronounced by AAR is binding, but the ruling pronounced by BAR is not binding. You can appeal to High Court within 60 days and you get extension also of 30 days. उसके लिए खाली आपको notified date का एक additional communication I am giving you. We all know that AAR is abolished. AAR will be replaced by BAR with effect from a notified date. They have notified 1st September for this purpose, and thus this will be a ruling of AAR and this will be a ruling of BAR. Okay. In respect of Hari, who is engaged in export of fabrics, information is flagged as per risk management strategy formulated by CBDT for AY 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20 and 2021 for income escaping assessment for these years aggregate to 42 lakhs. देखो 50 lakhs होता तो 10 years तक open हो जाता. This is again testing you on the amendment. We all know reassessment and search assessment का पूरा concept is now changed. Information flagged under the risk management strategy is a case of income escaping assessment, या फिर search हुआ तो by default without following the procedure of 148A also. In respect of Mr. Hari's friend Rajesh, who is engaged in trading of commodities, search was initiated in April 21. Can the AO issue notice under 148 to Hari and Rajesh in April 21? If so, in respect of which assessment years notice can be issued? Is it necessary that they be provided an opportunity of being heard before issuance of notice? एक एक करके बात करते हैं. First, let's talk about Hari. Hari के केस में it is flagged information of 42 lakhs. देखो, अगर 50 lakhs होता ना तो हम लोग 10 years तक दे सकते हैं. But 42 lakhs means, now this is again the amendment, 3 years. When are we giving? April 21. Okay. So देखो, if we talk about AY 17, 18, 3 years from the end of the assessment year, 31st March 21 को खत्म हो गया, तो इसका नोटिस नहीं आ सकता. But these 3 are within the 3 years. तो इनका notice can be given. Do you understand that? In April 21, we can give notice only for 3 years. So that will be AY 2021, 1920 and AY 1819. AY 17, 18 is more than 3 years. देखो यहाँ से अगर आप 3 years count करोगे, तो it is already over when we want to give. Correct? तो 3 years का, that is what they are asking. Which assessment year? 3 years. AY 1819 to AY 2021. Only these 3. And as far as Hari is concerned, you have to follow the procedure of 148A. In case of Hari, because it is information flagged in the risk management strategy, so opportunity of being heard has to be provided. Opportunity of being heard has to be provided. Okay. And if we talk about Rajesh, in case of Rajesh, first of all, search was conducted. If search was conducted, so opportunity of being heard, that procedure of 148A is not required. For Hari, it is going to be required because it is information flagged. But for AY 17, 18 नहीं हो सकता, 3 years हो गया. And 10 will not be applicable because 50 lakh होता है तो 10 years होता है. Opportunity of being heard has to be given. But for Rajesh, it's a case of search. So opportunity of being heard is not going to be given. Opportunity of being heard will not be given. Correct or no? And if we talk about Rajesh ka year of search, so what is the year of search? 21-22? नहीं ये 21-22. If 21-22 is the year of search, this is previous year 21-22. That means AY 22-23. Then what are the last 3 years? AY के हिसाब से चलेंगे 21-22, 20-21 and 19-20. So in respect of Rajesh, the 3 assessment years before the year of search. देखो, Hari का case is information flagged under the risk management strategy. So that was a case of normal reassessment where you have to follow the procedure of 148A and 3 years का time limit from the end of the relevant assessment year. तो 17-18 का 3 years have expired on 31st March. So that cannot be covered. 18 AY की बात कर रहा हूँ. AY 18-19, 19-20, 20-21 within 3 years है. तो चलेगा 10 years not applicable क्योंकि 42 lakhs का amount है. And now if I talk about Rajesh, तो year of search के पहले का 3 years. And year of search is this. So last 3 years. तो Rajesh के केस में it can only be these 3 years. लेकिन Rajesh के केस में this procedure not to be followed. Search वाले किसी भी assessee के केस में this procedure is not to be followed. Search वाले केस में procedure is not to be followed. Okay. Next, they have given details of a foreign company. List of incomes are given. just you have to take the total income and calculate tax. No DTAA. That means this is basically a question on special rates of tax. Okay, so they have earned interest income, they have earned debentures as consideration of fees for technical services. Means I provided fees, I provided technical services to an Indian company and as consideration I got debentures. तो ये 30 लाख रुपीस जाएगा मेरा fees for technical services के अंदर, and इसके ऊपर I have earned interest also, so it becomes like a recurring income. So that is what they have asked here. Dividend from GDR is very easy. You just have to take that 10% का thing. Dividend on equity shares also 115A के अंदर covered है. Income by way of royalty received from Z Limited. यहाँ पे ना they have put a catch out here, a very big catch that they have put. They have told you that this is the amount received. Dividend में क्या use किया word earned. Interest में के अंदर what word they have used earned. Dividend में क्या word use किया earned, but here they have used the word received. Receive मतलब this is net of TDS. तो पहली बात तो royalty is taxable at 10% under 115A and DTAA नहीं है, मतलब 10 plus 4% 10.4. That means this amount is going to be 89.6. To find out your actual income, you have to do the grossing up part. यहाँ पे earned बोला, so this is income amount, this is income amount, this is income amount. But this is received, मतलब this is what Z Limited paid the foreign company. So this is net of TDS. तो आपको इस amount को gross up करना. Okay, business income is given. Long-term capital gain on transfer of unlisted shares 132 is with indexation, but without indexation 232. देखो foreign company है, तो it will be paying tax at 10% without indexation. लेकिन in your capital gain amount you can put 132. So when you are doing computation of income, you take 132. Tax will be calculated on 232 only at 10% without indexation. बस आपको total income and tax liability calculate करना है. It's just one by one. The only main catch that they put here was that all other incomes they have used the word received, but for royalty they have used the word all other incomes they have used the word earned, but for royalty they have used the word received. So that's the catch out here. And this question 24 of Mr. Ganesh, 52 years, is a simple unilateral relief का question. So he has got Indian incomes, country G का agriculture income which is taxable at 20%. Brought forward losses वो उस agriculture के सामने नहीं होएगा, लेकिन current Indian income के सामने you can set off. So that is given to you, and then country M से भी income is given to you. इसमें the only extra part is that country M में अगर आप observe करोगे, there are two incomes. Dividend income is 30,000 and rental income is 52,000. Okay, तो 30,000 के ऊपर 10% टैक्स लग रहा है and 52,000 के ऊपर 15% टैक्स लग रहा है. तो just like we do in India, no, 30,000 के ऊपर 3,000, 52 के ऊपर 15% you apply whatever tax you get. That is the total tax on income of 82. तो country M के लिए भी you will have to do average rate of tax. इंडिया में कैसे करते हैं? Total tax upon total income. तो किसी foreign country में भी it is possible, no? There are multiple rates. So what do we do? Indian rate or foreign rate, whichever is lower. Foreign rate भी आपको average rate of tax के हिसाब से करना पड़ेगा. Other payments are only deductions, and lastly other payments are, these are deductions, and everything else is very easy and straightforward. He is not opting for 115 BSc. Exchange rate is given to you. This is a simple straightforward unilateral relief का question. Only extra part being that foreign का rate, जैसे इंडिया का तो average rate आपको करना ही पड़ेगा, यहाँ का foreign rate country G का 20 is very easy. Country M का जो foreign rate of tax करते हैं हम लोग, Indian rate or foreign rate whichever is lower, तो वो आपको average rate of tax के हिसाब से, because two rates are given. That's it. Divakar is a resident of the contracting state, namely India and country Y, as per the domestic tax law of respective countries. Would it be necessary to apply the tiebreaker rule? If yes, explain the tiebreaker rule. We try to learn in class itself by using the UN Model Convention. Whenever a person is resident of both the contracting state as per domestic law, so how we will apply tiebreaker? First we see permanent home. If in both countries, then personal and economic relations closer. If it cannot be determined or no home, then habitual abode. Then we check nationality, and last में the competent authorities by mutual agreement procedure. Do you remember the steps step by step? First permanent home, then personal and economic relations, then habitual abode, then nationality and competent authority by mutual agreement procedure. So पूरा का पूरा tiebreaker rule is again asked. अगर ये पूछ लिया 3-4 marks के लिए, तो this is like a bonus for you. Good quality questions, especially that first MCQ का जो second question था. Some other questions also really good quality. questions. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was our RTP lecture for May 22 attempt. And now for all the in-house students of Zoom of last year and recorded class students at Coppergate Educare, you will be getting your case law lecture as and when the statutory update and judicial updates are released. अगर by chance end of March तक नहीं आता है ना, तो I will keep the lecture. We cannot keep it pending for a very long time. I will keep the lecture. Okay, but for now that was our RTP lecture. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Please, all the best for your upcoming exams. Before you go, I know I was very angry about a few things and immaturity shown by a few. Now I am catering to thousands of students, and usme if few students are messaging like this, whatever I told you about some of these students, I don't reply to them. So if you don't get my reply, you already know the reason. One reason is that I don't know you. I don't have database of some students. I have database only if you have enrolled with me on Zoom or you have taken my lectures from Coppergate Educare. That is one reason. I don't know you. I am under no duty to reply to unknown people. My responsibility is towards my students. Community service I am already doing by way of free revision lectures, free MCQ lectures, free RTP lectures. Everything is not free. Okay, I am under no duty to reply to strangers, first of all. Secondly, some strangers send photos from books of other people and they tell me to solve questions. Again, I am under no duty to solve questions from other people's book. If you purchase someone's book, ask that person will solve you. It's not my responsibility. Okay, and if some of my in-house student will ask me any stupid question that, sir, is it okay if I study only one of your books? Then why will I write 4 books? Sir, I have only 2 months. How can I study full course? Then where were you till now? Where were you sleeping till now? And by the way, 2 months are also enough. If you watch the lecture at 1.5 ka speed also, no, then you will be able to finish 200 hours very fast. But one thing is for sure, everything or nothing. So I apologize if I was a little rude at the beginning of the lecture. I am not supposed to be rude as a teacher, but I wanted to show you the mirror. So thank you very much for watching and all the best. Even if I get angry, it's only temporary. In the long run, I am always going to think good only about you. If I got angry also, that was also to keep in mind your interest. Okay, at the end of the day, if you are successful, that is my success also. I will be very happy only. So all the best. Study well. Thank you very much. Bye bye, please.